Welcome. You are in the lab room. I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Week number 17, National Football League. Oakland Raiders hosting the Denver Broncos. For the Denver Broncos, this game is simple. Win, you're the number one seed in the AFC. You've already locked up the AFC West division. That's been taken care of a couple of weeks ago. All you need to do now is solidify your number one overall seeding in the AFC, making sure that all roads to the Super Bowl in the AFC come through Denver. And so it was simple. Take care of business against the lowly Oakland Raiders on the road, wrap it up, get home field advantage throughout. For the Oakland Raiders, finish up the season strong, figure out what the quarterback situation is, and try to save the job of your head coach, Dennis Allen. If you really like this guy, you want him to be around, go out and play some hard-nosed football for him and make this game competitive. And my best friend, one of my best friends, Oakland Raiders fan, huge Raiders fan, wants Dennis Allen back, believes he will be back. And I told him, hey, look, down the stretch, I don't know how much I think Mark Davis believes in Dennis Allen. His team hasn't responded well of late, haven't played a lot of close football games. This game against Denver could go a long way towards making Mark Davis feel comfortable with Dennis Allen coming back next year. I feel like your general manager is going to be back. I feel like Mark Davis is going to give him an opportunity to build this football team. I can't say the same thing for Dennis Allen. So playing these Denver Broncos, who you know is the best team in the AFC right now, tough at home, could go a long ways to Dennis Allen remaining the head coach in Oakland. So this was going to be a test. One that the Oakland Raiders and Dennis Allen failed miserably. Now, I will say this. This Denver Broncos team offensively is the best offense I've ever seen in my life. And I thought I would never say this because I've seen some really good offenses in my time. And for my money, the 98 Minnesota Vikings offense, hands down, best offense I've ever laid eyes on. And you could talk about the Patriots offense from 2007 and all the records that they set and all the players that they had. But give me the Vikings from 98. To me, that's still the team that is the gold standard for explosive offenses with Moss and Carter and Reed and Robert Smith in the backfield and Randall Cunningham slinging the football around. Look, that team to me was the team to beat. And it was a shame that they didn't get to play for the Super Bowl, but I think this Denver Broncos team is better than that team offensively because of the man pulling the strings, and that's Peyton Manning. And in this game, he set more records. And look, folks, let me explain this to you because I don't know how you feel about Peyton Manning. You might be one of those Brady apologists. Oh, Brady has the Super Bowl rings and yada. Okay, hey, look, I'm not going to argue with you. Your opinion is your opinion. But I will tell you this, and I'll say it once, I won't say it again. Peyton Manning is the best quarterback in NFL history, okay? And what you're watching, and I want you to really take this in and enjoy what Peyton Manning is doing. Because again, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. A lot of times with Peyton Manning, we hold him to such a high standard because he's such a great quarterback. You expect greatness from him all the time, and when you don't get it, you're somewhat disappointed. And when he does give you greatness, it's ho-humus. You go, oh, it's Peyton Manning being Peyton Manning again. And you don't give him the proper credit that he deserves because you expect greatness from him. And when you get it and you see it, you don't acknowledge it the way you should. And I just want you to take a step back. If you haven't done this already, I want you to take a step back, take a deep breath, and really put Peyton Manning's 2013 season in its proper perspective. This is the greatest season of quarterbacking we've ever seen in the history of the National Football League. And what he's doing is masterful. with the talent that he has. This is a talented group of skill players. And the running back position isn't better than the 98 Vikings. I still would take Robert Smith over anything he has in his backfield right now. But I will tell you this. Knowshon Moreno has played the season of his life in 2013. Never thought he would play at the level he's playing at right now. Demaryius Thomas, Eric Decker, a handful. You add Wes Welker to that mix, good luck. The 98 Vikings never had a tight end that scared you. They had Wiggins at tight end. Look, Wiggins was solid, doesn't scare me. Give me juice, okay? Julius Thomas, hands down, one of the most athletically gifted tight ends in the National Football League. Good luck trying to cover that guy. So you've got three receivers that virtually no one in the league can cover one-on-one. You throw in a guy at the tight end position that mismatch nightmare for any tight end, any safety, any linebacker in the league. Knowshon Moreno catching it, blocking it, and running it just as well as anybody in the National Football League right now. What do? Then you got the puppet master pulling the strings in Peyton Manning. Good luck stopping that high-octane, potent offense. And that's what the Raiders ran into, a juggernaut at the end of the season that needed to win this game to solidify home field advantage. And the Raiders were in the way. They were simply in the way. You ever heard in Major League Baseball when a pitcher comes in and he's throwing 98, 99, and he makes it look effortless? And they say, man, that's easy gas. Well, this Denver Broncos offense is easy gas because they just rev it up. And at moment's notice, and again, I've talked about this numerous times this season, about how this score could be 17-10 and a team's hanging around, or it's 24-21, and it looks like a team is going to threaten them. And then you turn your head for a second, you blink twice, and you look up, and it's 42-21. Or it's 44-21, and the Broncos have run away. Absolutely taken off in that football game. And you're like, what just happened? The Titans were in this game. What just happened? The Redskins were in this game. What just happened? The Eagles were in this game. Peyton Manning and that offense happened. And that's what happened to the Raiders in this game. It was 0-0. I looked down, I checked my pool sheet, and I looked back up. It was 31-0 at the half. I mean, that's what Peyton Manning and this offense brings to the table each and every week they step on a field. And yeah, when they play against, better defenses, the Raiders defense, hey, God bless them. Bless their souls. They go out there and they give it all they got, but they're not that good. But I felt like watching this game. You remember the game Mercy, Mercy, Mercy? Did you ever play that with your little brother, little sister, older brother, older sister? You either won that all the time or you lost all the time. There's no in between. Mercy, Mercy, Mercy is one of those games where you either win all the time or you lose all the time. Now, if you're the older brother, older sister, you probably won that one all the time. You're the younger brother, younger sister, you probably lost that all the time. Well, the Oakland Raiders screamed mercy, mercy, mercy at halftime. And the Denver Broncos said, okay, we understand, we got you. All right, we'll let go now. And they took Peyton Manning out of the game, and they turned off the switch, and they were content with the 31-0 lead they had at halftime. They put in Brock Osweiler. They scored 3 more points all game long and won the game 34-14. So there you have it. Peyton Manning and his offense set more records. Peyton Manning set the single-season passing yard mark that was set by Drew Brees a couple of years ago, broke that. He's now your single-season passing yard leader of all time. So most yards passing in one NFL season, that's Peyton Manning. Also, this offense as a whole broke the most points scored in an NFL season record, once held by the 98 Vikings that I just referenced, but was lately held by the 2007 New England Patriots that went undefeated in the regular season and lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl. That now belongs to the 2013 Denver Broncos, led by Peyton Manning. Over 600 points scored this season. Just astronomical in what these Broncos have been able to do. And again, I want you to take a look at Peyton Manning and his body of work. And I want you to try to understand and fathom what he's been able to do in two different locations with a team like this Broncos outfit that once had Tim Tebow at quarterback. Look at the difference between this offense now and when Tim Tebow was there running it. There's no comparison. And Peyton Manning is the man. And I just want you to realize, and look, again, I can't make you understand the magnitude of how good he is as a quarterback. But I just want you to respect Peyton Manning for what he brings to the table each and every Sunday, the preparation, the insane accuracy. I mean, his accuracy, if you watch this game, Burnett, the outside linebacker, was in coverage against Julius Thomas. Okay, Kevin Burnett had outstanding coverage, and he dove for the football. Peyton Manning put the football on a string and laid it out there in a way such that Kevin Burnett could dive, be in perfect position, and still not get his hands on the football. All Kevin Burnett could do after realizing that he had a handful of grass was pound the ground, get up on his feet, jump up and down like a 2-year-old kid, mad that didn't get his way, and get back to the huddle and realize that's Peyton Manning. That, in a nutshell, is what happened to this Raiders team in this game. They were just simply beaten by the maestro himself, Peyton Manning. And I want you, again, to just take a step back and look at the body of work. And not just this season, but just look at Peyton Manning's body of work as a whole and give the man his just due. If you haven't already, if you do give him his just due, great. You understand how well this man plays the quarterback position. If you're not, I challenge you to give this man the respect that he is due, because this man is definitely GOAT, greatest of all time. With that said, Raiders fall 34-14 in this game. They put up little resistance in that first half. They started Terrelle Pryor in this game. He came out, fumbled the snap on the second possession. I think that one pretty much summed up the afternoon for the Raiders, especially in the first half. Terrelle Pryor, I talked to my buddy. He's not an NFL quarterback. Let's just call it what it is. Call a spade a spade. He's not an NFL quarterback. I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't on the roster next season. I think Matt McGloin is your backup in Oakland, and I think you feel comfortable with him coming in relief duty if necessary. You need to go into the draft, find your quarterback of the future. I think that is definitely priority number one if Dennis Allen is retained. If not, of course, your priority number one in the offseason, find your head coach. Then it would be to get your quarterback of the future and move on from there. Terrelle Pryor, definitely not it. And he didn't bring anything to the table anymore, because even though he's an athletically gifted quarterback that can run and make some things happen, that's not enough. In this league, you got to be able to throw the football. And if you can run, great. That adds another dimension that the defense has to stop. But to be the only thing that you're actually good at doesn't help you, doesn't serve you well in this league. He can't really throw the football with that much accuracy. His arm strength, I questioned it coming into the NFL. I still question it now. His decision-making is not very good. He doesn't have good footwork. I mean, you heard the statements that he made. Hey, I had to learn how to throw the football when I got to the NFL. That's not a statement you make as an NFL caliber quarterback. So there's just too much stuff that he has to fix. And at this level, you can't come in with all those things broken. Hey, you might need to fine-tune a few things. Maybe your footwork isn't the best. Your mechanics isn't that good. And you need to study the playbook a little bit better. Hey, those are things that many quarterbacks have to work on yearly to make sure that they're sharp. But he has too many things broken in his game that needs to be fixed. And when you get to this level, certain things need to already be in place, and they're not with Terrelle Pryor. So I think you need to move on from him. Wouldn't be surprised if he's not on the roster next season. But the biggest question after this game is DA going to be back, that being Dennis Allen, your head coach? He's come out and made statements, said that he feels comfortable in his position and feels like he'll be back as Oakland Raiders head coach. I'll give you my perspective on this whole matter. I feel that he should be back. If you're an organization that is trying to build something, you can't keep starting over. The worst thing you can do is continue to start over from scratch. You never get to build anything of substance if you keep blowing things up, destroying it, and then building it over again. You never make any progress that way. I feel like the Raiders are going in the right direction. Although their record may not indicate that, this team was much like the Redskins when Mike Shanahan first took over. This team, salary cap wise, was in the toilets. They've cleaned up the books. They're going to have money to spend in this offseason. They had no draft picks. Al Davis traded away draft picks as if they were worthless. And so they didn't have any draft picks. They couldn't build this team the right way. They got the draft picks back. And they're starting to build this thing the right way in Oakland. He needs to be given a chance with a legit quarterback and enough pieces around to actually be a comparable team in that AFC West division. If he's given the tools, which I feel like this offseason he may get, maybe he'll be able to perform at a high level as a head coach in the National Football League. But I feel like he should be given that chance, and I feel like they're going in the right direction. To start over now would be detrimental to their cause, and I just don't see the benefit from starting over right now. I think patience is a virtue, and I think patience in this instance would be the best thing for the Raiders to exhibit. If they do that, I think they might reap the benefits of it as early as 2014 if they select the right quarterback in the 2014 NFL draft. But in this game, they were clobbered and hammered hard in the first half, and they cried mercy, mercy, mercy at halftime, and the Broncos simply let up. And that's going to do it for this installment of In the Lab Room. I thank you for joining me. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the Lab Room. Thank you for joining me. I've got a couple of more games to break down in week number 17 in the National Football League, including some huge matchups with huge playoff implications. So come back, join me as I continue to break down the season finale, 2013 National Football League.